you also went through voice coaching.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to ask you the question. I want you to tell me, why did you do that?
You know, when I was right out of my ICSE exam, I had summer vacations and I was a course junkie. I used to do courses all the time. I loved learning new things. Boys my age were playing sport at those days. I was learning cookery. I learned even fruit and flower arrangement. I even did an import-export class. One of the courses I was very passionate about. I learned French. I speak French fluently, by the way. It's a language I speak
Really?
as well as
I
English
didn't
and
know that
Hindi. Yeah, I
about
speak it
you.
fluently. I did it for 7 years. I have a diploma. I did public speaking because I used to love elocution and drama in school. And the gentleman who ran the academy, right after the first 2 sessions I had, he came up to me and he said, you know, you are a very bright kid and you speak very well, you're very articulate, but you sound like a girl. You have a very effeminate personality and your voice is that of a girl, and the world is tough on men who speak like this. So can I help you make your voice get a baritone and sound more like a man? Now, I'm going back 1989, right,
Yeah.
Sania? Like, this was a very impressionable time for any kid. We weren't aware. There was no wokeness. There was no self-awareness. There wasn't any counseling to help you, guide you, to tell you to be the person you
It
are.
wasn't the most inclusive time.
It
let's
wasn't
just
an
say
inclusive time. It wasn't a time where you were hyper self-aware. You were vulnerable. You were scared and worried. So I went with that advice, and I did 3 years of voice coaching with him and his wife, his wonderful wife, and they were very sweet. The intention was lovely,
Yeah.
and it was a paid. I went thrice a week, and I paid. But I told my dad because I was so ashamed to say what I was really doing. I was also scared that he would ask me
And that he would
why.
judge you
So
or-
that he would just wonder why I'm doing
Yeah.
this, because he looked at me very differently. He was a very progressive man in many ways. He never ever questioned the way I walked or talked or danced in
Yeah.
front of his eyes. He was proud of everything I did. But I wanted to do this because that coach told me, he said, you will not face the world with confidence that you need if you don't sound like a man. And I told my dad I'm going for computer class.
Really?
So he would give me the money and I would give it to my coach. 3 years I did voice and walking, because I used to walk like a girl. I used to run like a girl. Also, I was told. Now, this is all things that I was told, not that I knew better. I used to sound like a girl. And my voice really changed. He really made me, I would not say I became Rambo
How old
overnight.
were you? Just out of curiosity.
I was
around?
15.
Yeah, okay.
And
so
this
you were
went
also
on
in
till I
that
was 18.
transition
Yeah.
of like the voice and
This went
everything.
on till I was 18 or 19. And then when I was 19, the funniest thing happened. The computer came into my dad's office. And he was like, you've been doing it for 3 years. Now here's the computer. And I'm like, I had never looked at a computer in my life because I was not doing computer classes. I
Yeah.
was like, Papa, mujhe nahi pata. I don't know what to do. And he's like, 3 saal kya kar rahe the tum computer mein? Aisa kuch alag tha. I made some excuse and got out of there because it was hilarious. Because after 3 years of telling you,
Sounds like a movie scene.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m., I was at this gentleman and his wife's house, and I was there for 2 hours, 3 times a week.
What was your dad's?
He just thought
He was like,
I mean,
what?
he's no more. And I wish I could tell him that, Dad, I was learning how to sound like a man.
You
which
didn't
is
tell him?
advice that I would never give my child today. If today my son or my daughter had a preference, I would allow them to be who they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Different
not going to
times.
come in their way. You know, Lord knows I of all the people can't.
But imagine, I was just thinking when you said talk show host as well. I mean, because I see you as a friend, but I also see you more as a director. But and we were just talking about how you've been hosting
Yeah.
Filmfare for now 25th year,
Yeah, my
right?
God.
And for someone who's had to take voice coaching and someone who was told that the world is not going to accept you if you
Yeah.
don't talk a certain way,
Yeah.
isn't it incredible that one of you're known for hosting
Yeah.
shows, you're known for talking on stage, you're known for that, and it doesn't matter how you speak. It honestly doesn't matter.
I mean, you know, that man subconsciously gave me a lot of confidence, and I realized that's not the right approach for kids today, but it was the right approach for me. And now when I stand, like, this is my 25th year as a host.
Yeah.
I hosted my first film fair in the year 2000, and now I'm hosting this film fair, which is on the 11th of October in Ahmedabad.
Oh.
And I'm like, 25 years, I've seen all the stars today who have been hosts. I've hosted with every one of them. I've seen them all come
Yeah.
and go in front of my eyes. Like all these magical Manish Pauls, Bharti, even Ayushman, who was an RJ, I've hosted with him. Like all of these have come much after me.
Yeah,
I've been
of course.
like,
And they're
I
much younger
I
than
was
you.
telling Bhai the other day, 2 years ago, when he was hosting Shah Rukh, I was telling him in Ahmedabad. He was like, तूने rehearsal ही नहीं किया है. मैं 7 दिन से rehearsal कर रहा हूँ. तू एक दिन पहले आके तू अपना lines बोल रहा है. I said, Bhai, I want to tell you, you're a living legend, but in this, I'm your senior. I said, in this, I'm your senior. I said, you will still be more magical and
Yeah.
absolutely more magnificent on stage because you are the king and you are the king of entertainment.
And he's also
But-
the king of spontaneous humor,
and yeah,
right?
he can do anything.
Yeah.
He's the brightest man I know. But I said, in this department, I am your senior. I said, ये मैंने 25 साल से मैंने किया है, so that teleprompter I can read in my sleep.